Quick question, how many potential love interests does Ayanokoji have? A, 1, B, 3, C, 5, or D, none? You should have known because he has 12. Classroom the lead has too many female characters, or rather, there are too many love interests for Ayanokoji. Not like it's a problem for me, but I noticed something strange. Kushida, Kei, Sakayanagi, and Ichinose. Do you see a similarity with those girls? All of them are waifus. I know that sounds weird, but let me explain. A common criticism of COTE is that most of the other female characters are there for nothing but fan service, only sometimes contributing to the plot. By fan service, I don't mean any panty shots or anything, but just existing to have their names on a waifu list. Example, what's her name? You probably forgot, didn't you? Her name is Maya Sato, and she hasn't done anything in the anime so far but be rejected by Ayanokoji. Another, Sakura. Again, nothing but be attracted to Ayanokoji and maybe help Pseudo that one time. People say Classroom Delete is nothing more than a power fantasy by the state of Ayanokoji's character alone. A blank, emotionless Mary Sue with the capabilities to beat anyone and get a bunch of girls in the process. Although I think the perfection part was on purpose, that's a topic for another time. We know from Year 1, Volume 4.5 that Kinugasa loves adding female characters for whatever reason, but he never really expands on them as much as he does with characters like Horikita. No wonder why people call it Classroom the waifus. They all look like they're cute girls fiending for Ayanokoji's T-Rex. Yeah, that's a reference. And I'm a fan of the series, no doubt, but that sure is a problem. Oh, and I should probably tell you I haven't caught up with the light novel, so everything I say is just stupid, okay? Oh, and please subscribe if you're still here. We want to crack 500 subs by July, so please help. Tell me if I'm wrong too, like I hate scripting. That aside, let's look at the personalities of the girls. Let's start with Horikita Suzune, the ice queen of D-Class. Horikita is an extremely observant and cold girl, willing to cut off anyone if she finds them a burden. She doesn't mince her words too, she's extremely to the point and curt. Talking to Pseudo about an upcoming test, a test on which their livelihoods would likely depend on, she sugarcoated nothing and merely showed the situation as it is. Pseudo and the gang were just slacking off and would be expelled if they didn't lock in. Of course, most in their positions would be offended, so they left. Seeing the group go, she did nothing but scoff, intending to leave them to their own devices. However, upon Ayanokoji enlisting the help of Kushida, she couldn't help but to, help. She claimed she was doing so out of her own volition of reaching Class A, but that's rather debatable. Her coldness isn't necessarily her trait though. You see, she took that from Manabu, her older brother. For whatever reason, Horikita looked up to him in his accomplishments, so much so as to mimic his cold behaviors and whatnot. The only person to see through this was Manabu himself, demanding to revert to her true self. All she was doing was mimicking him for validation, not knowing that could be her downfall. On their last encounter, Manabu was able to convince Horikita to stop chasing him and move at her own pace, to develop herself in her own way. Kushida Kikyo, the two-faced student. On the exterior, she's an attractive girl with a near palpable aura of friendliness and openness. She's extremely skilled in socializing, damn near befriending everyone she meets. Anywhere on campus you go, there will be someone who knows of her. However, all of this is a facade, a front. Growing up, Kushida was always in the limelight and received compliment after compliment. All of these really got to her and she grew a bit too used to it. However, in her middle school, attention started to die down as others began to set the stage for themselves. Feeling invalidated, Kushida grows desperate and momentarily does anything in her power to remain relevant, but all is futile. Struggling to bottle this up, Kushida opens a blog post online and vents about her problem, sharing class secrets under an alias, thinking she's safe. However, the act only goes on for so long as she's found out. Being put on the spot, Kushida spills all the secrets she knows in each and every one of her classmates, effectively breaking the harmony of the class. Leaving that all behind and entering advanced nurturing high school, she hopes to do the same. I think. Do not fact check me on that, man. Kushida is an extremely cunning and manipulative girl and an extremely convincing actor who wants validation and attention. Kei Karuzawa, nicknamed the Parasite by Ayanokoji. Kei is basically the popular girl of D-Class, doing anything a girl would do in her high school fictions. Get into dramas, get a boyfriend, shop a lot, etc. However, she's hiding under that guise to conceal a dark past of hers. You see, under the bullying of this group, we find out that she's an extremely submissive girl and dependent on the protection of others to prevent herself from undergoing such torture again, getting into a relationship with Hirata for the sole purpose of security. Even Ayanokoji said, there are many different types of despair, and what you've experienced surely counts. We don't know exactly what happened, but she's been bullied since a kid, going as far as to incur a large scar on her abdomen from this bullying. So she essentially acts like this out of fear, self-preservation. Getting the influence over the girls in D-Class helped easing that, but she's still the same inside. A scared girl bullied into a mask that isn't hers. Sakayanagi Arisu, the self-proclaimed queen of the advanced nurturing high school. Being born with a congenital heart disease, Sakayanagi was at a disadvantage in the physical department as she would have to walk with a cane for support. However, her intellect far surpasses any normal humans. She's extremely proudful of that fact, taking the reins of A-Class almost immediately after being admitted. She sees herself as better than everyone, but with one exception. As a child, she grew interested in the White Room, a facility her father closely monitored, and in a boy in particular, Ayanokoji Kiyotaka. Hearing his title of artificial genius upset Sakayanagi for some reason. It conflicted with what she defined as true genius. She alone was a true genius from birth, so she couldn't accept the fact that geniuses could be made. That and the fact that Ayanokoji was the only success steeled her determination to topple the fake fake king, to show everyone he was merely a fluke and people like her were to be hailed as geniuses alone. She too was rather quiet and planning, much like Ayanokoji, preferring to pull strings instead. The only difference between them is that Ayanokoji does so in the shadows, while Sakayanagi is more upfront with it. She seems to be clinging onto the title of genius for more than personal conviction. She seems rather connected to it, as if she wants to be special. I'll leave the interpretation up to you. I'm not going to be doing anything. With all the female characters I wanted to talk about, what do you think I missed? I definitely don't have all the facts, so please tell me in the comments. Maybe I should do a part 2. Maybe I was wrong with Kushida. Whatever it is, please say. By the way, please stop. I'm trying to crack 500 by July, so please make it happen. Regardless, thanks for watching the whole way, man. I appreciate you. Peace.